Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And if you're watching this right now, I appreciate you, but you gotta check out the Marvel Snap Zone YouTube. We have a 2.5 hour podcast with Lambie, Peaceful Sea, myself, and Roy. That is one of the best episodes we've ever done, bar none. So make sure you check that out. Today, though, we have our friend, the genius of Marvel Snap, the secret best deck builder around, Safety Blades on reveal. And like, you're sitting there going, on reveal, there's no way that could play this deck. I'm telling you, Safety's been telling me about this deck for literally months. It got slightly better with the White Tiger buff, but he's been telling me about this deck for months. I was like, yeah, on reveal, whatever. I finally played it. The deck is sick. Also, we've got a secret deck. This secret deck is from our friend Scuba, who hangs out with J Hugs all the time and made his best like discard list ever way back in the day when I first started making content. Scuba is brilliant and has a secret bounce deck that we talked about for several hours today, and then I played and absolutely rolled with. I lost with it only to in games I tried instead of running when like I just didn't, you know what I mean? Like, there's those games of Marvel Snap you just have to run because nothing's unbeatable. I lost only to at the. I didn't lose a cube through my first two Gold Conquest games after winning a whole bunch on ladder, and then the third one, I haven't played against Legion in so long because all the decks that ran Legion now run Alioth. I played against the Legion deck, and I was just like, oh wait, they can with Superflow they can lock me out of the game with Kiln on turn 4. Oops, I lose. Oh wait, they can do X, Y, or Z that I can't stop. Um, oh wait, that location that kills cards, they're just going to turn that off, so I shouldn't play my big card there because they have more stuff there. Like stuff like that, just because I'm out of practice with Legion ended up messing me up. um I used to be good against Legion. It's just been a little while since I've had to see it, so I'll get that back relatively soon. Either which way, by the way, y'all, Legion is still really good, and I've got two super cool decks for you, so hopefully you stay tuned and check those out. That's why I think you should subscribe. It helps us, it's free, and we give you two brand new decks you won't find anywhere else every single weekday. Two brand new decks every weekday. Hey, want OTA decks? We don't have two OTA decks. We always do at least 15 OTA decks. Yesterday's video for the OTA, you can check it out, did 18 decks, 18 post OTA decks. We have you covered for all your deck needs in Marvel Snap. Um, OTA decks aren't proven, but everything else we feature here is proven. It's an infinite deck, it's an infinity deck, it's a deck with an extremely high win rate. We give you what you need to succeed in Marvel Snap here on this channel, and we have some of the best minds in the game contributing to the channel. We talk to like Lambie regularly, we talk to all your favorite streamers and creators to get these decks to stay on top of the meta. So please hit that sub button. We appreciate it. Also, in about 2 more weeks, we do the biggest giveaway in Snap of season passes. You probably want to stick around for that too. All right. We believe in deck credits here. People put a lot of work into decks and they deserve some love for it. We've got our friend Safety Blade. Safety Blade is twitch.tv/safetyblade if you want to watch him stream. He is also a writer on marvelsnapzone.com like me. So you can find all of his really great articles on Marvel Snap Zone, so please check them out. Scuba's Secret Bounce. Scuba doesn't stream. Scuba doesn't Twitter. Scuba's just really good at Snap and plays an awful lot of it at a really high level. You can find him if you want to talk about this deck on JHugs Discord. And since we all love JHugs, JHugs is the homie. Hey JHugs. YouTube.com/at JHugsPlays. Go give him a sub. We've also got at the very end of this video my Day 2 Midnight Suns variants. I'm just going to show you them and tell you what I think about them and what I'm buying. Let's go to deck 1. This is Safety's deck. He calls it Absorb the Power. What it fundamentally does is play your standard Wong reveal game, right? You can you're very simply going like Wong, White Tiger, Odin, and filling the board with now 8 power White Tigers. 24 power in every lane is pretty gosh darn good. If there's like a Red Skull there that's giving them +2, it's gonna beat that, for example. You've also got like a million other really cool game plans here. You can do something like Iron Lad, pull an Iron Man, and then just start dropping things on that. Your Wong into Ironheart and Absorbing Man is absolutely sick. That's really fun if you went Ravona Wong, and then like your last turn can be a Ironheart and Absorbing Man. It's just crazy power all over the board. Still lets you play Iron Man on turn 5 to double that power too. There's just an absolute ton of awesome plays. You can Jubilee to cheat out various stuff. There's like literally no bad pulls for Jubilee in this deck. I guess Nebula is not able, so there's one mid pull, but everything else is really good. And let me just say, Jubilee for 3 with an Ironheart for 2 on turn 5 is a really strong play. Jubilee for 3 with a Mobius is a really, really strong play. And Zabu and Ravona both allow that. And Jubilee for 2, which I have yet to actually get going, is sick. Like, it's sick. It's great. Um, there are 4/4s, so you run Zabu and you just say if you've got Mobius, you got Mobius. You don't like need to do the energy cheat with Zabu and Rono thing. They are bonuses. They are your high rolls when your opponent doesn't have Mobius. If everyone has Mobius, that's just fine. This deck has won multiple Infinity borders. This deck has hit Infinite. This is a legitimate tier 1 deck. I've slept on it for too long. Do not sleep on it. All right, Ravona is maybe better as Echo because obviously Cosmo ruins your life. If you don't have Echo and you don't have Ravona, just try Forge. Forge is pretty good on Wong, right? So let's say you get a Zebu out, and then you want to on turn 5, right? You want to play whatever you want to play White Tiger. Um, okay, go for it. And then your next turn you can drop like Forge to get +4 power, right? Like, and that just seems really good. Or you go Zabu and then you go Wong, and then the next turn you go Forge into Ironheart, right? Like there's just all these like little plays that Forge can enable, especially since he now costs 1. Mobius is probably fine as Scorpion here. Scorpion's just a solid card. If you're seeing a lot of Luke Cage, and like you're probably seeing a lot of Luke Cage, feel free to make that like kind of whatever cheap on reveal you like. It could even just be your own Luke Cage to stop opposing man things. And if you don't have Iron Lad, just run America for consistency. That's my general advice. I don't know for sure if safety agrees with that, but generally speaking, I basically choose in an awful lot of decks between America and Lad because there's just not always space for both. And if anything shuffles my deck, ahem Jubilee, then I don't really want Lad to just grab America, and that is extremely likely to happen after a Jubilee. So here we are. Let's keep going. Why is this so good? Is the question I asked myself over and over as playing it. Turn 1, Nebula or Echo if you run her. Turn 2, Zabu is better than Mobius. If you Zabu'd, then you just get Wong out usually. You can also Ladder Jubilee in that order. And then Ravona is obviously a play if she's in the deck. Turn 4 is when the deck really starts to come together. If you have Wong, you can Tiger because if you have Ravona, which is just insane to do that early in the game, you're dropping a 17 power turn 4 at that point. If not, it's the same basic order as 3. You go Wong, Lad, Jubilee. Totally fine plays. I tend to not like to Jubilee on Wong on turn 4, but like it's not the worst play in the world either. You'll assuming you know what's in your deck. Turn 5 is White Tiger or Ironheart, and if you can use Ravona to get Ironheart and something else, that's great. And turn 6, if you can, Odin. Like Alioth should be really scary here, but like you're not putting power in that lane, right? Or you're not putting a ton of power in that lane. So like you end up going wide and they can't do a ton to stop you. One other potential change in the deck, I guess. You could run Doom, right? Doom is also completely reasonable here for Lad or for I don't know, kind of anything. Um, Mobius maybe. Whatever, Doom is fine because then you can Doom not on the um you could if you're ahead in other lanes, you can Doom not on the Wong and just like steal that Wong lane with that extra 5 Doom power. That should work fine. I guess Mobius can also be Jeff. I'm just not trying to replace Series 4 cards with Series 5 cards. That's kind of not the point. Did I replace Nebula? Oh, I guess that we should probably replace Nebula too. Nebula's still a Series 5 card. Again, same basic gist. You want good stuff cards. Jeff here, Sunspot here, Night. You could do worse than a Nightcrawler here. All these cards work perfectly fine for this incredibly strong deck. Quick old variant talk before we move away from this deck. We've got our Nebula here, our hip, our Zabu hip, that's 2. Mobius hip, that's 3. Ravona hip, that's 4. Wong hip is 5. Iron Lad hip is 6. We are hipful. We are hip to the hips, which is how we want to be. Hips are the best alt art in the game. I finally got my beautiful, beautiful Zabu. I have a yellow cat. His name is Atticus, and he thinks he's Zabu. Telling you that cat thinks he's a giant tiger. So like I love this card. I'm so happy to have it. Um I love hips. I'm happy for hips. I think that like the Ravona hip with Timey or whatever his name is on the shoulder is great. I love the Loki on the shoulders of Mobius. This Zabu is my cat, and this Nebula's eye lights up. It's incredible. Wong is like adorable and hilarious, and still like the worst of the hips in this deck. I love Dan Hip art. I'm just saying. All right, I bought this Ironheart recently. It's great. It's my favorite Ironheart. It came in the shop. It's only 700 gold, so I grabbed it. I didn't have an Ironheart variant, so I'm happy to have it. I have three Jubilees, and I don't have a favorite. I decided to run this one in this deck just because this deck felt like a celebration. I don't know why, it just did. So I threw the one where she's running around making sparkles and like seemingly having a grand old time. Um, I don't love this Absorbman. It's my like second favorite Absorbman after the hip, but the hip is so much better. I really want that hip Absorbman. It is now my most wanted variant, I believe. I've got this cool Iron Man. I pulled it a few weeks ago. It's nice, and this is the Odin from the Conquest like a couple weeks ago. Again, it's not amazing, but hey, it's the only Odin I have. I'll run it. I need a White Tiger variant. There's not many in the game, strangely, so I will grab a White Tiger whenever I see one, since now she is playable. Deck number two is Scuba Bounce. This is an actual bounce deck. A lot of the times when we say a bounce deck, what we really mean is a Hitmonkey deck. Um, those decks run bounce, but they're really about getting a Hitmonkey. This is a bounce deck. Your goal here is to bounce. Falcon is the best bounce card in this deck. Um, this deck is crazy strong. I again lost because I forgot how Legion worked in very obvious and dumb ways. Because I work a full time job and had an hour of meetings during and then another hour after school. Here we go, though. This deck is sick. Bast is the most important card in the deck. Bast hits Kitty for massive power increases, Hawkeye for massive power increases, Angela, Forge, and then the rest of the hits, and Iron Man, excuse me. And then the other hits are just fine. Like, you're not sad about making Medusa, Luke Cage, or Elsa better. You do need Luke right now, I think, in this deck because Man Thing is a card. Um, but like your cards just get huge here. You're sitting there with like a 1/7 Hawkeye and a or 0/7 if they don't play Mobius, but who cares? Beast is just like your backup Falcon here. Like you assume they have Mobius, so Beast is just extra here. Or you have a 2/8 Medusa, right? Or 1/8 Medusa, as the case may be. That's 15 power from these two cards. That's really, really great. You can double that with Iron Man for relatively cheap. It's super strong. If you play a fourth card in locations, you've got Elsa. Um, for to make sure that that's super powerful. You can do that multiple times because you have Kitty and you have all these bounce cards. Forge as a 1/1. I know it says 2/1. He was buffed in the OTA, and it takes a little while for the sites to update. I say that every time. So Forge is sick. Forge is so good here, bumping your Kitty, bumping your Bast, putting like just so much power on the board. Using Forge for one to give 4 or 5 power, or sorry, 4 to 6 power is completely sick. He and Bast are generally the cards I most want to bounce, although Hawkeye and Medusa are pretty damn close too. And like that, you can bounce Forge, Hawkeye, and Bast with Falcon is stellar. You're getting gigantic. I think I had a 14 power Angela in one game. You're getting gigantic Angelas, and then like as you're doing this, you're just throwing like you've got like a 218 Elsa. It's crazy good. Let's talk some card replacements. Oh, before we go further, quick strategy that's not going to appear anywhere else. With this deck, play for 2 lanes. Figure out what 2 lanes it is. You can go over almost anything. You're going to put like 30 in those 2 lanes. But pick 2 lanes and go for 2 lanes. Cool? You want a Falcon and Beast relatively early because you want everything played out by turn 5. If you can get that going, your turn 6, either Iron Man or America is enough of a power spike, because that America is usually going to be 12 power, remember? Because of Elsa. Or that you like drop an Iron Man and a Kitty at the end because Kitty will be in your hand and all your other ones will be on the board. There's not enough Killmonger to really punish that. Iron Man being usually at that point a 3 and Kitty being like a 12 at that point, it just wins you the game. It's sick. You want it to be Iron Man and Kitty, but you're fine if it's America. Works out just great. All right. You need Kitty and Elsa. Everything else is Series 3 here. See, look at all the pretty Series 3 cards. I guess a lot of it's actually below Series 3, but you get the idea. Luke is your swing spot, but if you're seeing a lot of Man Thing, no, he isn't. You just died a Man Thing without Luke, so run Luke. It's also great because like the very first game I played with this, I got the -2 location, then the -3 location, and I giggled as I dropped Luke and they had to run. And I know this is blasphemy, but America might be better as Hood. I don't usually have quite enough power issues for that, but like you can usually get Hood back into your hand or make the Hood a 3, and then that 6 power demon is just an awful lot. Um, I don't know. It's got some merit. The only reason it's not the change I'm making is because I really want to see Bast early, even more than Kitty, more than everything else. Bast early is what makes this deck sing. All right, power up without Hit Monkey. So turn one, Bast greater than Kitty, greater than Forge, greater than Hawkeye. I like Hawkeye's still good, so like there's not a bad turn one. Turn two, I generally want to play 2/1s over Elsa, Angela, Medusa, or Luke. And then turn three, I want to bounce or with Beast or one in Falcon, and then I just replay stuff on turn four, drop it all on turn five, and turn six I'm playing Iron Man and Kitty or Iron Man whatever one and or America. I'd really prefer it to be Iron Man in the one, and the reason I'm doing that early, it does cost me cubes, is because Rogue is everywhere right now, because everyone is running like Man Thing or Luke Cage or Mobius, and Mobius doesn't really bother you because you don't care about the -1 for Beast, right? You're dropping everything too early for that, but it's genuinely like really really hard to counter rogue, but they don't know where you're gonna, they don't know how to rogue you if you're Iron Manning on turn six, right? Like you can Iron Man in either location, so that's at best a 50-50. They know what you're doing. The latter game I lost with this, singular ladder game I lost to this, I lost because they Iron Man to rogue, and that was the only thing in the game that could have beat me. Like an Enchantress, I still would have had too much power, but it was Iron Man, so like it doubled them and half mine, and that was the end of that. So, this deck is phenomenal and easy to access, and I really hope you'll try it. Ooh, excuse me, I smacked my microphone. Let's keep going. Let's do our variant talk. My favorite kitty, we talk about it every day. This Bast is honestly, like purely objectively, probably my favorite hit. I just think it's gorgeous. We've got yet more hip Elsa. We've got the cool hip Medusa that I got, the cool hip Beast. So, and obviously the hip Hawkeye. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're having a good hip day with multiple hips in every deck. I really like this Angela. I've had it forever, and I don't know why I never used it. I've now got a cool black and white. I'm gonna get this gold. I don't know why I like it. I don't usually love baby art, but this one's great. I still don't like this Forge. No offense to whoever does, but it just feels too plain for me. This is my favorite Luke, even better than the hip. This is my second favorite Falcon, but I'm not buying the Captain America one. It's too. I don't think it's worth 1,200 gold, because this one is close enough and really good and was free because it was part of a variant rush back when they did that. It was really cool. This is the other Iron Man I have. The Iron Man I ran forever until I got the other one. So now I flip between my Iron Man, and this is America. This is my and Roy's favorite America. The Rian Gonzalez one is Lambie's favorite. Ooh. But it's almost the exact same piece of art. I like this one better because Jane McKelvey is one of my favorite Arsenal comics. Ooh. Hopefully you try both of these decks. They seem so like, I didn't believe in these decks, and like then I played them, and now I'm a believer. Like I saw her face, not a trace. All right, enough of that. All right, these are my Midnight Suns variants. I have bought none yet because I used all my gold. I decided to last minute buy the collector bundle to upgrade cards because I'm not using those variants. And now I don't have gold, so I'm going to get more gold and grab a couple of these before reset. I am 100% grabbing that Nova. I don't have a Nova variant. The only other card here for whom I don't have a variant is Uatu. And like, I don't play Uatu, so I'm going to open that for free eventually or buy a 700 one. It's just I can't bring myself to spend 1,200 on Uatu of all cards. I like this Surfer, but I have the really great 1,200 Surfer from recently. I like this Torch, but I have a Torch I like. Um, I love this Storm, but the Storm they gave us for that when they made that music video a while back, I have that gold and it's beautiful and I'm not messing with it. Panther is fine. Again, I spent $1 million on that Phoenix Force Panther, so damn it, I'm gonna use it. I also spent $1 million on Mech Death, but this Death is better, so I'm close. And like, so the second card I might buy is either the Death or the She-Hulk. I don't have a good She-Hulk, it's Pixel, but I plan to buy the, I want to say Peach Momoko one coming out, which I do like better than this. So I'm between the She-Hulk and the Death, and neither one is great right now because of Mobius. So maybe I just skip it and buy Nova and wait for the last day. We'll see how we feel here, but I'm definitely grabbing that Nova. That Nova will be. Um, all right, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what Midnight Suns variants you're getting. I appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you either Sunday or Monday. We'll see how the weekend goes for another Snap Take. Peace.